What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Pokemon TCG Showcase. In this video, we are going to be showcasing the Marill Azurill line. Um, so it's going to take a minute, so I'm just going to try to go through it kind of fast, because obviously there's 3 different Pokemon. But as you can see here, Azurill almost has no cards, because baby Pokemon are like a weird thing in the card game that come and go, you know, kind of in weird phases. Sometimes baby Pokemon are there, sometimes they aren't. Um, yeah, so baby Pokemon are some of the least printed Pokemon. Like Bonsly has almost no cards. Mantike, who's one of my favorite Pokemon ever, has almost no cards. But they are in right now, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, because Mantike did get a card. So maybe Azurill hasn't been printed, but its first card ever was Diamond and Pearl. This is back when they were doing the era of just like drop shipping. Ken Sugimori did this a lot of just putting the Pokemon in like a normal looking background from back in the day. Um, Ito is the one that does like the crochet arts. There's a lot of these in the Sun and Moon era. You know, I'm not sure. If you look at Sun and Moon sets, there's a lot of these crochet arts. I'm not sure. I know they're in other eras as well, but they were doing quite a bit of these back then. So I'm not sure if it's like a different artist that started doing them, or you know maybe Ito took a break or something like that. But there's a lot of these crochet arts. If that's something you're a fan of, look up Asako Ito. I like them. They're quite nice. Like you could see, like there's a following behind them as well. Even just a reverse hollow of a this is a common from Cosmic Eclipse is like $10. So you know those little crochet cards would could be cool little pickups and whatnot. This isn't in order. Whoops. Okay, so the first Azurill card is actually E-Reader because it was introduced in Gen 3 from Sandstorm. I actually really like this card. This card is very nice. The orange sunsetty vibe, like that's one of like my favorite color combos and all that kind of stuff. And then you have one from Delta Species where he's kind of like running around under a little bridge. So nothing crazy for Azurill. Obviously, you know, reverse hollow from this era has a stamp. So reverse hollow stamps are always decently cool. But yeah, nothing crazy for Azurill. Like I said, baby Pokemon are weird in the trading card game. And then we go to Marill, who for some reason has a good amount of cards. It did actually just get an illustration rare in Ascended Heroes, which is a very nice card. Very cool colors and all that kind of stuff. And for some reason, Marill has gotten 2 illustration rares in the new printings of Pokemon, whereas Azumarill and Azurill have gotten no love. I guess Marill is probably just the cutest, so maybe they're rolling with that. But yeah, here's the normal print of Ascended Heroes, just frolicking in some flowers. This card is adorable from Surging Sparks. He's like patting the little ball on his tail. It's super cute card. I love the little house. Like this card right here is one of like the nicest little just half art cards, you know, like base cards. Stellar Crown, this is actually a really pretty card as well. Just in the obviously we'll go by these pretty fast because you know they're nothing crazy, but they do all have really nice artwork. This is a Temporal Forces. You know, he's just bubbling down, very cool. Now, this card, on the other hand, is actually worth a good amount. This is Paldea Evolved, and Paldea Evolved just has some amazing illustration rares, honestly. This card is beautiful. The water looks awesome in person, like with the shine on it. And if you could just see all of these Pokemon down here. There's like 5 Love Discs. There's a bunch of Pincurins, Clawitzer, Bruxishes, couple Bruxishes, a Marini. Like this is or Toxapex. I mean, this is such a nice card, to be honest. Paldea Evolved has so many good illustration rares. Here's the base from Paldea. Nothing crazy, just a little wave, all that kind of stuff. But Fusion Strike Marill, very nice, like watercolor vibe to it. I think I understand why Marill gets a lot of cards now. It's a very adorable Pokemon, honestly, and you could put it in a lot of cute environments. Oh, we're going all the way back. We got Fairy here. So before Fusion Strike, it did not get a card since Lost Thunder. That's almost a whole, you know, generation, basically, because Fusion Strike's towards the middle end and Lost Thunder's towards the beginning of Sun and Moon, if I'm not mistaken. But here's Sugimori, you know, putting a Pokemon in like that kind of a just weird background. Ken Sugimori's like very, you know, he's very unique. He draws and then it just like drop ships it into like some weird like background that kind of looks like real life, but not really. This is surprising to me. So as you can see, there's another Osaka Ito, but this is $1.50 only. as a reverse holo in Burning Shadows. So maybe people think that Azurill is cuter because that card was like 10 bucks. Or maybe it's because it's from Cosmic Eclipse, which is 3 or 4 times the price of a Burning Shadows pack. So maybe as it's getting older and Cosmic Eclipse is getting more expensive and rare, so are the reverse holos, or you know, that could be what's happening. And again, I'm not 100% sure on these TCG player like pricings how exact they are. I just kind of roll with them since I'm going through so many cards at once. So maybe that card isn't actually like 10 bucks, but yeah, I mean, you could see the little crochet arts are very adorable. Like I said, back in Sun and Moon there was quite a few. And then we have, this is honestly a really sick card from Steam Siege. I really like this artwork. Wow. I might look up that guy later, the artist. That is really cool. I really like that card. The art style, you know, very much. Shibuzo. I've never heard of that artist before, so maybe it was like a artist that didn't work for too long for Pokemon, but like that is such a super cool artwork. For some reason, this McDonald's Collection 2015 card is not in the best quality, but it's about $10. But it is just the same printing as Primal Clash, so I think it might have like a stamp on it or something. The McDonald's one does. But yeah, I mean, or it's like a special holofoil pattern or something along those lines. But that's just the same artwork, just you know, for some reason not in great quality. We have Marill from Boundaries Crossed, Walking on the Water. We're getting back to the older cards, so you know, even okay, this is from a trainer kit, but this is the one, oh, that's another trainer kit. Okay, this is from the actual set, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. So there's a couple printings from trainer kits, but oh, he's like whipping his little tail around. That's actually adorable. You can see the little, like the motion of the tail whipping around all the little balls. This card is adorable. Holy, wow, what a cute card. I feel like I'm familiar with this artist as well from the Diamond and Pearl era. Like, you know, like in Diamond and Pearl era, you see a good amount of cards with this art style from this artist most likely. But something, you know, you don't see as much anymore. So it is really cool to just go back and look at the different eras, you know, because they had so many different artists and just see. But then it's also cool to see people like Tomokazu Kamiya who have just been doing it from the start and have been making really awesome stuff and have stayed for 20 something years, you know, doing it. So it's really cool to go through and look through all the artists. Delta Species, this Marill has the same vibe as the Azurill, you know, kind of like underneath the bridge, you know, going down. Now, this Sumiyoshi Kazuki, this guy, I absolutely love this art style from this era. It's like the EX era really is where you see most of their cards, to my knowledge. But I just absolutely love this art style. When I did the +1 Minun showcase, there was a +1 Minun by this guy, and they were like grabbing each other's ears, and it was adorable. This Marill is awesome. It's just such a basic art style. Like, look at how much brown is in that. You know, like just that whole area is the exact same shade of blue. It's just like such a basic art style, but it just is executed so well. And obviously EX era cards have the reverse stamps, so they look pretty cool and collectible. In my opinion, I'm a very big fan of the stamp cards, so I think that mix with, you know, some of the artists back then, like that's kind of why I really enjoy a lot of that. Sandstorm, you know, little e-reader card, he's going underwater, he's got his little tail bopped up. Very cute, very cute. Marill on Aquapolis sitting on top of a little like, this isn't gonna make sense now, but it's like a little Italy like thing, like a storefront or something like that, maybe in Italy or something like that. Like I said, that's not gonna make sense now. Wow, this is a $20 card. E-reader cards are crazy expensive, man. That is surprising. There's probably something going on. There's no reason this should be a $20 card and the reverse is 22. So one of those is probably wrong, but it is still a very nice card. This e-reader from Expedition is actually adorable. See, this was probably what I would imagine this should be more like. So this is probably this. I gotta imagine this is really only a couple dollar card, and maybe that's glitched. But this makes sense. Like a $5 card from here, and then a reverse is like 30 or 40. That makes a lot more sense. I know a lot of those not as common, but still like somewhat likable Pokemon from e-reader era. Like their reverses are anywhere from that $30 to $40 range, especially if they're like commons. Now this is probably one of the best Marills printed. It is from a set called Southern Islands. It was basically it was basically like a binder that came with yeah, it came with a binder and like a couple Neo packs from back in the day. Um, and it was just like a full thing of cards where the artworks were spread across the three cards, and it was just honestly so awesome. The best example of it right here is you could see the Mew, the Pidgeotto wing, and then the Pidgeotto here, and then the Pidgeotto wing and the Onyx face, and then you know the Pidgeotto's right wing towards the Onyx. So like these three connect. You could see the Mew's tail in this one. Like they connect into like all beautiful big pictures. You can see the Ivysaur leaf here on the Togepi, and then, you know, the Ivysaur leaf here next to the Raticate, the little Raticate's arms right there. I know this isn't the best, highest quality picture, but, you know, it's getting my point across. War Turtles spitting water onto the Slowking who are holding the leaves next to the Executors. Like, so, like, each three cards are, like, connected, you know? And so it's just, like, a beautiful thing. And then, so you have cards 1, 2, 3 left to right. And then one of those three cards randomly is selected as the reverse holofoil. So Marill was the reverse holofoil for its three, you know, cards artwork that it was in. So the reverse holos from Southern Islands can get pretty expensive. Like I know the Mew is like pretty expensive at this point. Um, but honestly, it is like one of the coolest sets you can have in a binder is Southern Islands because they look so cool next to each other. And we go back, we have Neo Genesis. Very interesting artwork to be honest. Um, but and then the very first printing of Marill was actually a Black Star promo. I don't remember what this is from. I'm not too familiar if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, so that is the first printing of Marill. Probably my favorite Southern Islands, or I do like the Team Rocket Returns as well. But I mean, this Paldea Evolved one is also awesome. And then we're gonna go back to Azumarill. Azumarill doesn't have anything too crazy, if I'm being honest, but we'll go through it. Ascended Heroes, it did just get an EX card. And then we have to go all the way back to Surging Sparks before that, till it got a different normal printing. Um, Stellar Crown, it got a nice little printing as well. Temporal Forces. Okay, so Azumarill's gotten a lot of printings recently for some reason. Paldea Evolved. Yeah, that's interesting. I did not know that it's 5 cards out of the past, you know, couple sets. Fusion Strike. This is a cute little card walking around on the docks. And then we go all the way back to Fairy types, Sun and Moon. So Lost Thunder, Burning Shadows. It did have a print with Burning Shadows like Marill did. It doesn't have an Edo card, you know, the Crochet card, which is kind of sad because Azurill and Marill both did, but no Azumarill, which is kind of sad. Now this card from Steam Siege is actually such an awesome card, and it's a great little subset. Steam Siege shiny double typing Pokemon. I believe this only really happened in Steam Siege. But like this is such a cool little subset. I know it's not like super expensive because there's really not that many, but for some reason, I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure exactly how many sets they did, but I know Steam Siege in particular had some. But back in the day, they did these reverse holo, or I mean, they were doing shiny Pokemon that had 2 typings. So like you could see Bisharp here is its shiny variant, and it's Steel and Dark. Azumarill, Water and Fairy, and then Galvantula, Electric and Grass, Shiftry. And so these are all the shiny variants of these Pokemon. Yeah, I was gonna say I know there's a Volcarona as well. These are honestly really cool. They kind of really pop in reverse holofoil, which I think is why there's a significant amount difference between the normal and the reverse. These actually look really nice in a reverse holofoil, and they're such unique cards to be honest. Like you can see how kind of cool they look in reverse holofoil, and there's not that many to collect. So honestly, it would be like a cool little binder. So yeah, these are all from Steam Siege. You can see by the set logo on the bottom. But I know there's that Volcarona as well. It's also from Steam Siege, so I'm not exactly sure how many cards there are that are like that, but they're honestly pretty dang cool. So that's honestly a nice little subset of cards that might be pretty easy to pick up and look really nice in a binder. Then we have Primal Clash, and then these full art esque. I don't really know what they're called, what they were called back in the day. But these full art esque Pokemon from some of the X and Y sets are so amazing in a reverse holo. Like genuinely, they look so nice. Let's go over to Primal Clash and take a peek, because I know that there's a couple in Primal Clash, just as like to kind of get an idea. Like, look at this. This is that full art esque like type. They have like this weird ability up here. I'm not exactly sure what the name of that type, this subset of cards is. But no, man, they look really cool. And this is from the X and Y era. So you have, yeah, so I showed that Swampert, you have this Azumarill. Look at this Kingdra. Like, look at, these are basically like full art cards before they existed. Or like, you know, like illustration rare-esque cards before they existed. Because obviously full arts existed. But, like, dude, look at how cool these look. I think that they're a very interesting pickup. Like, even look at this little Torchic, dude. Like, they look amazing in reverse hollows, I will say. I've never really seen them out of reverse hollows, because usually they're only a couple bucks, so most people don't really care too much to carry them. But in reverse hollows, man, these cards look so cool. Like, even this is a $2 card, man. This Nidoqueen, $8. Like, they look really amazing. I think this is like a super slept on subset from the X and Y. Look at this Bidoof, bro. Like, look at that, man. That is amazing. In reverse hollow with the little rainbow, like, I genuinely think that these should be things that people are like looking to like complete a set of, man. Like, if you're truly just collecting for the love of the game and you like the artworks and stuff, like these from the X and Y era. This is all from Primal Clash, by the way, and I'm pretty sure this was printed, like cards like this were printed in like Breakthrough, Breakpoint. So like, there's a bunch of these. But they look so good, man, to be completely honest with you. So yeah, I think that's definitely a subset that can be like completed. You know, I really think that could be. I think that could definitely be a nice little subset that people could complete. Some boundaries crossed, you know, nothing too special about most of these cards. All the way back to Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Diamond and Pearl. We do have a Delta Species, which, you know, if you've seen any of the other videos, I'm a huge fan of Delta Species. I think they look so cool. Like having a silver Azumarill card instead of all of them being blue and pink. I think that Delta Species cards are just super cool like that. Delta Species Hollow Foil, that's a nice artwork for sure. But we are getting back to the more expensive stuff. This card is awesome. I love this card. It's from that same Kazuki guy I was talking about. He did the other one. But just like the art style, bro, like the little waves in the background, everything. And then this is a hollow foil, or you can get the Team Rocket Return stamp on it. Just so sick. Sandstorm, interesting vibe here for Sandstorm, if I'm being honest. But I do like e-reader cards a lot there. Very unique artworks from e-reader era. I think that's why a lot of people, there's like a cult little fan base of e-reader cards, because their artworks are so genuinely unique. Speaking of genuinely unique, this is just a Azumarill in like one of those little like Venice like river, whatever that's called in Italy. Like, this is just the card. It's such an interesting card. This is like one of my favorite cards from what we've seen today. It's just such a funny looking card, dude. Like, look, he's just like it's so interesting. I don't know. I do really love that card, actually. And then the original OG Azumarill Neo Genesis, first edition, you know, 50-60 bucks for a holo. Probably a little more expensive if it's a clean copy, I would have to imagine. I know that a lot of these cards can be pretty beat up. So like first edition Neo Holos, obviously it's not $700, but I mean, yeah, near mint first edition selling for like 70, 75. So yeah, that's about accurate. But yeah, that is this evolution line. Honestly, I really have always liked Azumarill like in the video games. I've always been a big fan of Azumarill in the video games. So I think I like the line a lot. I do like the line. And they've had some great artworks over the years. I think Marill for some reason has gotten most of the love, but I mean, you know, Zoro has a couple cute cards for sure. It's a cute Pokemon. It only has 4 cards, but they're pretty cute. And then Azumarill has got some really nice looking cards. Like this Primal Clash card is amazing to me. I actually think that looks really insane. And then this little subset from Steam Siege where they did shiny Pokemon with dual typings. I think that super cool. And then obviously this might be my favorite. This artwork. And it's from Team Rocket Returns, so it's got a really cool stamp on it if you get the reverse holo. But also the Aquapolis one it's so funny looking. He's drawn so goofy too, like his little His little smile is just so goofy. So I really do like I really do like that one as well. Let me know what your favorite card was. Give me your favorite Marill and Azumarill card if you have one of each. If not, just whichever one your favorite is. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time. Peace.